Hi friends, welcome to Eater 5. I've generally refrained from asking my audience to subscribe to this channel, but I realized at times that I have to do it as just a sweet reminder. Please subscribe to this channel now, right now, if you haven't done so. It won't be an exaggeration to say that Sushant Singh Rajput's case has blindfolded many people from the actual issues that the country is facing now, like COVID, Chinese incursion, unemployment, schooling, or the examination issues. Who would have imagined that the death of a person with such a calm demeanor could provoke so many elements in the country? If you have seen my previous videos, I myself made few videos about nepotism and Bollywood crime angle, but soon realized that the whole story is being twisted for the sake of political gains and personal vengeance. And also, that was around the time when Kangana Ranaut, in collaboration with Republic TV, decided to go for a rampage against everyone they wanted to target for a long time. The politicians and police departments from Maharashtra, Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, and even the center got involved to give their ego a boost or play the political Game of Thrones. What's forgotten in the middle of all this mess is the justice for Sushant. Friends, I want to start with a quick example from the United States. Since the pandemic started 5 months ago, the coffers of billionaires increased by $800 billion. They kept getting richer while the little less than 2 lakh people died due to COVID situation in the past 5 months, and the unemployment rate rose by many millions. So this situation is quite similar in India, even though the data doesn't get published in black and white. While the common man around the world is struggling, the billionaires are trying to find business opportunities and misuse many tax holes to fill their coffers with more and more billions. I bring this up as an example, as Sushant's case is quite similar. If you see, there is a puppet show going on, where politicians, mainstream media channels, and Kangana are pulling the strings, and the common man who's emotionally invested in seeking Sushant's justice is dancing to all the well choreographed steps by those who are pulling all the strings. Friends, when tragedy strikes, common men like you and I are always looking for heroes, villains, and the facilitators. There is no denial that the way Mumbai police or Maharashtra government handled the case raised many doubts about their investigation, but what started as a mental health issue suddenly became all about nepotism. Thanks to Kangana, who had already introduced this word to common man's dictionary, she found a golden opportunity to cook up many theories about how Sushant's demise and nepotism are intertwined. Everyone she had personal vengeance on, like Karan Johar or Mahesh Bhatt, Aditya Pancholi, and Alia Bhatt, were dragged into Sushant's case, as Kangana, who is a great storyteller, and was able to make up theories about how nepotism and establishments conspired to get rid of Sushant. The renowned Banana Republic channels provided her a perfect outlet to vent out all she went through and started drawing conclusions about their connections with the SSR case. The one may wonder how she could talk so much about SSR's death without caring to know about him personally or professionally when he was alive. Alia's Sadak 2 trailer and Ananya Pandey's Khali Pili trailer got so many dislikes that it broke many previous YouTube records. The same common man who happily danced to the songs like Munni Badnaam Hui or Sheila Ki Jawani suddenly started having major problems with Beyonce Sharma Jayegi, song from Khali Pili. I'm nobody to say what we did here is right or wrong, right? But I'm wondering if these dislikes provide any justice to Sushant Singh Rajput. While the fire is still burning, Sushant's family threw Riya Chakraborty into the fire by charging her of exploiting Sushant financially. We haven't found any credible investigation report that proves that she was responsible for SSR's death or caused abetment of suicide. Is Riya clean or not is still up in the air, but the media trial, heckling, mental and physical torture she and her family had to go through for past days cannot be ignored. What if in few months there will be credible evidence that shows that she was innocent? Who will give her back all the lost sleep, lost health, and most importantly, lost dignity? Common man will be watching all this circus unfold now and will move on eventually. But if she is just a scapegoat here, she's gonna bear this trauma throughout her life. Some channels stooped to the level that they even started heckling the guy who was there to deliver food to Riya or security guard of their apartment. Now guess what? While the common man is sitting at home with a cup of tea and internalizing all this as some reality show, hoping that there are positive steps in seeking justice for SSR, guess what? They have been fooling us all this while. For media channels, this has always been the war of TRPs. Yes, TRP is what decides the price they can negotiate for advertisements. Right after Sushant's case, the news channels like Republic, Times Now, and Aaj Tak crossed all their ethical limits and have hired scavengers in the name of journalists. What they do is wait near the target's home, in this case Ria's, and heckle anyone and everyone who walks around their home. Now, what's unfortunate is these kind of cheap sensationalism sells in our country, where people love to assume that someone is a bad person and love torturing them or watching them getting tortured or being morally policed. Now, for the Banana Republic channels, it all worked out well and good. Their TRPs and YouTube subscriptions have skyrocketed in past 2 to 3 months. While all this circus is at play, the ruling party of Bihar, who are in good terms with the center, hatch out a plan to send a separate investigation team to Mumbai, clearly to score a few brownie points before their election and to seek political vendetta against the ruling government of Maharashtra. Friends, amidst all this, India was grappling with the major issues like unprecedented growth of COVID cases, where we are the number one in daily number of cases. We are worst hit in terms of GDP growth compared to other countries. Chinese incursion is a major problem which cannot be ignored. Unemployment numbers are skyrocketing. Schools and college students are uncertain about their future. Many are not able to take competitive exams like IIT JEE or NEET exams. Now, some of you may accuse me of sounding exactly like a left-wing sympathizer. Trust me, friends, all politicians are the same to me. They are trained to pull the strings of puppet show. They are the opportunists. Also, why do we want to fix ourselves within the bounds of a particular political narrative? Do we have to belong to either left or right wing? Can we take a middle ground and assess things with little more common sense? Anyone with some common sense would have figured out right from the beginning that the media outlets, politicians, and Kangana are milking the sentiments of common man. So while the case didn't seem to go anywhere, Kangana recently introduced a little more masala to the case by saying that 99% of Bollywood is on drugs. Now wait a minute, she must have counted a handful of actors and actresses, including herself, from her own past confessions and generalized it as 99%. Now are we made to believe that thousands of crew members behind the camera who are meeting their ends through Bollywood income are under the influence of drugs? Friends, I'm not giving a clean chit to Bollywood here, right? I myself have made videos about the dirty secrets of Bollywood. But why suddenly all this dirt is coming out now? Also, common man is learning about all the cool words that Americans introduced to refer to marijuana, like pot, bud, weed, etc. Well, there is not much difference between our own Desi product ganja and these borrowed names. Kangana later locks horns with Maharashtra government and Mumbai police and compares it to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and introduces Kashmiri Pandit's angle out of the blue. The Maharashtra government takes the bait and demolishes her office. It almost seemed like the Home Ministry in Delhi and Kangana were waiting for a perfect opportunity to elevate Kangana's VIP status to such a level that they provide Y plus security to her, which is only available for 15 people in the country. Friends, this is a level of security that is out of reach for many honest IAS officers and other extremely valuable citizens whose life is under threat. Don't be surprised if Kangana, who successfully milked the sentiments of her base in the name of SSR, would be a central minister in next few years. Think about it, friends. This case created a battleground of sorts between Bihar, Maharashtra, Centre and Himachal Pradesh. Kangana also smartly slipped in Ram Mandir issue, Kashmiri Pandit issue, plus the Dawood Ibrahim angle. If someone can figure out a way to add Shabarimala or a Jallikattu angle to Sushant's case, it will become a pan-India issue, right? In this puppet show, every time the common man got tired of dancing to the strings pulled by various parties involved, they introduced a new twist to the plot that energized the puppets and the TRP-hungry media. We don't know what's cooking and what's going to be the next hot twist to this topic. But one thing is for sure, as long as they keep sensationalizing this issue, they can keep milking their emotionally naive audience and keep them dancing. Friends, as I end this video, it is very concerning to see how these media channels, state governments and central governments have made SSR case the #1 issue in the country for freaking 3 months. When was the last time we talked about women's safety, farmer suicide, job issues, uncertain careers of working class men and women, and zillions of other real issues that matter for India? I get it, guys. SSR's sudden demise was emotional and was unbelievable. Justice needs to be served. But what if in reality there is no clear villain to the story? What if the CBI or the police departments won't find anyone or may also be the puppets at the hands of politicians? Now we can only hope that there is some conclusion to the case, but until then, are we going to allow few folks with vested interests to exploit common man's emotion? Or do we want to move on with our lives? Thank you very much, folks.